milk truck backfired by the corner store. A sharp metallic rattle on the floor. I pushed the curtains back to see the street and saw you stamping cold off from your feet. You wore that faded jacket made of brown, the one you bought before you left this town. You looked up at my window pane and smiled, and suddenly the years felt short and mild. The distance that had grown between us both was swallowed by a simple silent oath. You brought 2 coffees in a paper cup. We pulled the wobbly wooden chairs right up. We traced the roads we took so long ago, through summer rain and heavy winter snow. The hours slipped away without a sound, safe in the simple comfort that we found. You told me how you bought that red guitar and played in dusty, quiet local bars. I showed the photograph upon the frame from days when neither of us knew our name. We laughed about the things we used to fear and found out nothing really changed right here. The clock kept ticking softly on the wall, as if the lost time didn't hurt at all. We found the thread we thought was left behind, still shining bright inside a quiet mind. You brought 2 coffees in a paper cup. We pulled the wobbly wooden chairs right up. We traced the roads we took so long ago, through summer rain and heavy winter snow. The hours slipped away without a sound, safe in the simple comfort that we found. Life tore the map we drew when we were young, and muted half the songs we should have sung. But standing in the hallway near the door, you are the loyal friend you were before. The street noise hums down on the avenue. I miss the simple days of knowing you. Leave your coat hung up beside the stair. We still have plenty of old times to share. Honey, amber neon spills across the vinyl floor. You asked if anyone was sitting on this chair. I tipped my glass and told you no one anymore. You brushed a bit of rain out of your hair. We traded talk about the storm outside the bay. Just two lost passengers with time to throw away. Then you laughed at something silly that I said, and a sudden quiet settled in my head. You wore that silver band from Santa Fe tonight, while snowy tracks dissolved behind our slow train car. We used to count each state beneath the harbor light. Now small talk fills the space where old memories are. You turned your wrist to set your coffee on the board. The lamp flashed on a scar above your thumb. I held my breath and let the years rush back restored, remembering the coast where we were from. You smiled and asked if I had traveled west before, unaware you once stood knocking at my door. And the jukebox played a tune from '83, while you looked right through the man I used to be. You wore that silver band from Santa Fe tonight, while snowy tracks dissolved behind our slow train car. We used to count each state beneath the harbor light. Now small talk fills the space where old memories are. I almost called your name out loud before the conductor called the line. Two ghosts who vanished in a crowd, divided by the drift of time. You said goodbye and stepped into the aisle, leaving me behind your polite and distant smile. You wore that silver band from Santa Fe tonight, while snowy tracks dissolve behind our slow train car. We used to count each state beneath the harbor light. Now small talk fills the space where old memories are. Honey, amber neon on the empty seat, rain against the window in the quiet street. Safe travels back to Santa Fe. Heavy wooden chair sinks into soft carpet flooring as I sit beneath the brass lamp on the shelf. I hold a fresh blue sheet of paper this evening to write a little letter to my former self. You were so afraid of taking wrong directions, trying hard to fix everybody's imperfections. The clock ticks slow upon the dusty wall. I catch your shadow standing in the hall. You don't know yet how far we're gonna go, or how much grace a broken heart can show. The young man running fast without an autumn coat finally reaches harbors where schooners float. We trace those silver threads along our common scene and purchase sweet warm cider for a broken dream. You never need to dread coming years. I remember how you stayed up past midnight, pacing round the kitchen in your faded jeans. You thought that 25 was far too late for starting, chasing after foolish, unreachable scenes. I brought the worn-out photographs you left behind to prove that all those heavy worries were refined. The clock ticks slow upon the dusty wall. I catch your shadow standing in the hall. You don't know yet how far we're gonna go, or how much grace a broken heart can show. The young man running fast without an autumn coat finally reaches harbors where schooners float. We trace those silver threads along our common scene and purchase sweet warm cider for a broken dream. You never need to dread coming years. We are not strangers, split by 30 winters cold. I see your honest fire under stories told. The bus you missed turned out to be a saving grace, and every tear you dropped left beauty in its place. The young man running fast without an autumn coat finally reaches harbors where schooners float. We trace those silver threads along our common scene and purchase sweet warm cider for a broken dream. You never need to dread coming years. Fold the blue paper neatly now, place it right inside the desk drawer. We are right where we belong today. The heavy chair holds us both. Burnt coffee and pine fill the late autumn air. When Daniel turned around on his final seat, coat was dripping by the magazine rack, and 30 long winters came tumbling back. She shook out her hair like she did in '74 and dropped 2 bright quarters right there on the floor. He stood up so slow that his tea turned to ice. She spoke out his name, and she didn't think twice. They shared half a donut beneath the tin clock, rewinding the tape 3 whole miles down the block. The highway had swallowed the vows of their youth, yet laughter stayed sweet, with a sharp grain of truth. 2 forgotten lovers who found the same street, where quiet old promises finally meet. Her husband had passed back in '81 fall. His daughter ran shop near the local town hall. They talked about Plymouth and old radio shows, and how fast the river in November flows. He wiped off a spot on the window pane glass to watch all the strangers and yellow cabs pass. He offered a ride in his dusty old Ford. She smiled at the key hanging off of the cord. They shared half a donut beneath the tin clock, rewinding the tape 3 whole miles down the block. The highway had swallowed the vows of their youth, yet laughter stayed sweet, with a sharp grain of truth. 2 forgotten lovers who found the same street, where quiet old promises finally meet. The waitress brought refills without any charge, while outside the traffic ran heavy and large. For 45 minutes the years disappeared, replacing the silence that both of them feared. She pulled on her gloves as the neon light blinked. 2 lives in the dusk, unexpectedly linked. He held open the door as she stepped in the rain, and promised he'd call her tomorrow again. Quiet hung heavy over cold parquet floors, until your last letter crossed my mind. The silver Buick pulled into the driveway outside, cutting the dark through the plastic blind. You stepped out wearing that same corduroy coat, holding Gold in a suitcase held together with tape. The screen door squeaked on its rusty spring. 10 long years dissolved in a single breath. We stood in the hallway like suspended dust, ignoring every broken promise and death. We sat in the kitchen where the yellow light fell, and spoke of the summer on the Maryland shore. You laughed at the teacup with the chip on the rim, while time lost its grip on the hardwood floor. Rain hit the glass in a steady, slow beat as you poured red wine into 2 plain cups. The record on the turntable spun in its groove, playing that melody that lifts us both up. You pulled out a photograph, edges worn thin, showing 2 kids by a blue lake dock. The screen door squeaked on its rusty spring. 10 long years dissolved in a single breath. We stood in the hallway like suspended dust, ignoring every broken promise and death. We sat in the kitchen where the yellow light fell, and spoke of the summer on the Maryland shore. You laughed at the teacup with the chip on the rim, while time lost its grip on the hardwood floor. The clock on the wall kept ticking along, but neither of us looked up at the hands. The distance behind us was water under bridges now buried deep in the shoreline sands. We sat in the kitchen where the yellow light fell, and spoke of the summer on the Maryland shore. You laughed at the teacup with the chip on the rim, while time lost its grip on the hardwood floor. Headlights swept across the ceiling tiles. Your coat stayed draped over the wooden chair. We stayed up talking till the night ran out, like you had never left me standing there. Ribbed wool catches on my fingertips as I pull the heavy coat down off the rack. The scratchy weave brings back a sudden chill, and 30 years come rushing swiftly back. I feel the frayed edge of a cotton seam where you once mended tears with silver thread. Suddenly the air turns crisp and clear. A doorway swings wide open through the haze. I hear the record needle drop again to play the soft pop melodies of older days. We stood beneath the yellow street lamp glow, exchanging promises we couldn't keep. Before the autumn wind began to blow and woke us from a dream so deep. Now turning round, I see you at the door, standing right where you belonged before. You take a step into the warm parlor light, wears a dark navy sweater, soft and old. The distance fades away in a single breath and leaves no room for November cold. You smile just like you never left at all, brushing the dry leaves off your sleeve. Memory is a funny kind of thread. It pulls you right back where you used to start, unraveling the words we left unsaid, to stitch together what was torn apart. Hang your coat beside mine on the hook. We ended up exactly like a storybook. The knit stays warm against the evening breeze. We finally find our quiet peace. A rusted matchbook lies beside my tea. It shows the place where we used to hide. You slide your cup just an inch toward me and wipe the steam from the glass outside. 10 winter years fell between our hands, yet here you sit in the corner booth. I thought I forgot how your voice would sound when time washed away all our younger truth. We traded our dreams for a steady paycheck in another town. Now cold vinyl seats keep the heavy shadows from falling down. Your thumb traces timber along the table where old names stay, while coffee gets poured like the golden seasons we threw away. You laugh so softly at a joke I used to tell. The lines around your dark eyes have grown. I count the scratches on the brass desk bell and wonder how much we have truly known. The waitress brings us a warmer pot. We pretend we never missed a beat. thought I forgot how your voice would sound when time washed away all our younger truth. We traded our dreams for a steady paycheck in another town. Now cold vinyl seats keep the heavy shadows from falling down. Your thumb traces timber along the table where old names stay, while coffee gets poured like the golden seasons we threw away. There is no anger inside this space, just quiet wonder at how we grew. A sudden light on your weary face, and suddenly I am 18 with you. We traded our dreams for a steady paycheck in another town. Now cold vinyl seats keep the heavy shadows from falling down. Your thumb traces timber along the table where old names stay, while coffee gets poured like the golden seasons we threw away. The matchbook sits where it always was. You smile at me across the wooden ledge. We leave a tip as the highway hums. Two old friends standing on the edge. Faded yellow 7 on the platform, clock holds still, while rainy city traffic crawls along the harbor hill. I close my eyes and picture how the future years will bend to bring us back together at the journey's quiet end. We will both be older when the twilight settles down, stepping off a late commuter train in some small town. Somebody turns around to recognize my faded coat, reading every single line of love I never wrote. They laugh at foolish mistakes that kept us far apart, finding all the missing pieces saved inside a heart, handing over paper cups filled with steaming tea, healing quiet aches from long ago across the sea. I see the way your eyes will shine to hear my spoken name, as if the passing seasons never changed our gentle game. You'll ask about my sister and the cabin on the shore, and I will smile and answer that I missed you even more. We will both be older when the twilight settles down, stepping off a late commuter train in some small town. Somebody turns around to recognize my faded coat, reading every single line of love I never wrote, then laugh at foolish mistakes that kept kept us far apart, finding all the missing pieces saved inside a heart, handing over paper cups filled with steaming tea, healing quiet aches from long ago across the sea. Time is just a river rolling onward to the main, carrying the promise that we will not meet in vain. So let the calendar move fast and turn another page. I am ready for the moment, waiting on the future stage. Somebody turns around to recognize my faded coat, reading every single line of love I never wrote, then laugh at foolish mistakes that kept us far apart, finding all the missing pieces saved inside a heart, handing over paper cups filled with steaming tea, healing quiet aches from long ago across the sea. The minute hand moves forward, I'm waiting by the track. Save me a seat near the back door until you come back. This heavy oak chair presses deep into the rug tonight, as I sit down to write a line to 18-year-old me. The yellow desk lamp casts a warm and steady light on a photograph of someone I used to be. You were waiting by the station in a faded denim vest, scared that every big decision was a grave mistake. You thought the world would end at 22, because nobody taught you what a broken heart can do. But I am sitting here across the span of 20 years to buy you one last drink and wipe away those foolish tears. Put down that heavy suitcase standing by the kitchen door. The train you missed was never bound for where you wanted to go. You'll find the answers waiting on a higher floor, and learn to love the quiet rhythms that we used to slow. The storm you feared just washed the dusty windows clean and brought us back together like a forgotten dream. The leather seat creaks underneath my shifting weight, while I tell you that the dark days didn't last too long. We made it through the cold nights and the late night debate, and every single sorrow turned into a decent song. You met the girl you thought was gone forever in the rain. She's downstairs making tea while I write down your name. You thought the world would end at 22, because nobody taught you what what a broken heart can do. But I am sitting here across the span of 20 years to buy you one last drink and wipe away those foolish tears. Put down the heavy suitcase standing by the kitchen door. The train you missed was never bound for where you wanted to go. You'll find the answers waiting on a higher floor, and learn to love the quiet rhythms that we used to slow. The storm you feared just washed the dusty windows clean and brought us back together like a forgotten dream. If I could hand this paper through the faded glass, I'd tell you not to hurry when the seasons pass. The boy who stayed awake until the midnight hour grew up to be the man who found his simple power. So rest your tired shoulders on the wooden back. We made it down the long and winding track. I'll leave this letter lying on the velvet seat, where two old versions of a dreamer finally meet. Sweet pipe tobacco and crushed lavender drifted across the damp autumn street. Clara pulled her scarf tight against her chin, watching the evening rain drop at her feet. A shadow stepped out from the pharmacy door, holding a bag from the hardware store. 20 years dissolved in a single breath. No clever words were left to say. He adjusted his hat in the drizzle light and smiled in that ancient, easy way. The old silver clock on the corner chimed. Two strangers pulled back into borrowed time. He offered his arm as the sky turned gray and swept all the long, lonely years away. They walked toward the booth where they used to sit before any spark in their world was lit. He spoke of the farm up in Idaho. She talked about teaching in Santa Cruz. They laughed at the photographs in his coat and brushed off the rainwater on their shoes. The waitress brought tea without even asking. In simple reunion, they both were basking. 20 dissolved in a single breath. No clever words were left to say. He adjusted his hat in the drizzle light and smiled in that ancient, easy way. The old silver clock on the corner chimed. Two strangers pulled back into borrowed time. He offered his arm as the sky turned gray and swept all the long, lonely years away. They walked toward the booth where they used to sit before any spark in their world was lit. The past is a letter that came too late, yet here were two hearts at the garden gate. No anger remained in the quiet room, just lingering scent of the evening bloom. She took his hand near the doorway frame. He called her by her forgotten name. The rain kept falling on Maple Street. Two old friends where the shadows meet. A dusty peach glare hangs over the train depot counter, while the man sitting beside me turns a worn newspaper page. I clear my dry throat and ask if the late bus is running, just to bridge the quiet gap of our lingering age. He turns around slowly with a tired little nod, says the winter always comes too early this year. Then he sets down his coffee with a distinct wooden click, and a phantom spark suddenly catches my mind. I look at his left thumb with that crescent-shaped mark, and the decades roll back to a place left behind. We shared a green bicycle 30 autumns past, racing down Elm Street before the street lamps burned. The years made us strangers who grew up too fast, now sitting side by side as the big wheel turned. I finally speak your name across the cold space, and 40 years of distance vanish from your face. He blinks in total wonder as the realization strikes him, and the polite, stiff posture melts completely away. He asks if it is really me in a hushed, trembling gravel, as a soft brass ballad starts on the jukebox to play. We talk about our mothers and the old harbor bridge, piecing back the wreckage that time tried to steal. reaches in his jacket for a leather-bound keeper, pulling out a faded snapshot taken by the lake. He says he kept it tucked near his heart through every city, waiting for a random chance encounter to make. We shared a green bicycle, 30 autumns past, racing down Elm Street before the street lamps burned. The years made us strangers who grew up too fast, now sitting side by side as the big wheel turned. I finally speak your name across the cold space, and 40 years of distance vanish from your face. The midnight conductor calls out boarding for track 4, but neither one of us moves to pick up our heavy bags. We laugh at how we used to think that 20 was so old, while the cold rain outside on the gravel depot drags. Two travelers bound for very different destinations, finding childhood resting at a quiet county station. We shared a green bicycle, 30 autumns past, racing down Elm Street before the street lamps burned. The years made us strangers who grew up too fast, now sitting side by side as the big wheel turned. I finally speak your name across the cold space, and 40 years of distance vanish from your face. The overhead bell rings as the engine moves out. We trade our telephone numbers on a torn paper napkin. Not a stranger anymore, just the boy from down the block. I step into the dark and feel 21 again. You mentioned yesterday that cedar chests hold everything. I noticed how your silver ring still turns around your thumb. A wooden ballpoint pen is tucked inside your sweater sleeve, and traffic on the avenue has settled to a hum. You take 3 careful sips before you set the teacup down. The yellow wallpaper has peeled a bit along the floor. The rain is tapping on the glass like soft, polite applause. We sit across this braided rug without a single cause. A dented copper thimble sits beside a broken comb, while 15 years of distance melt into a quiet room. You laugh exactly like you did when autumn came too fast, and every little thing you touch brings back a shadow from the past. You still fold up your napkin in a neat triangle twice. The leather on your left faint white jagged tear. I saw you squint against the lamp to check the kitchen clock, then smooth a single strand of gray that drifted in your hair. The rain is tapping on the glass like soft, polite applause. We sit across this braided rug without a single cause. A dented copper thimble sits beside a broken comb, while 15 years of distance melt into a quiet room. You laugh exactly like you did when autumn came too fast, and every little thing you touch brings back a shadow from the past. A postage stamp from '84 stuck to a leather book, a heavy brass latch clicking as the winter evening falls. I never thought I'd sit right here and watch the way you look, tracing all the simple lines drawn on these old familiar walls. A dented copper thimble sits beside a broken comb, while 15 years of distance melt into a quiet room. You laugh exactly like you did when autumn came too fast, and every little thing you touch brings back a shadow from the past. That triangle napkin on the cloth, a tiny freckle near your wrist. We stay right here until the kettle stops. Nothing lost and nothing missed. Stiff gabardine feels cool against my palm as I unbox this coat from '82. The attic air is motionless and calm, and every thread brings back a glimpse of you. I trace the seam where frayed threads start to yield, and suddenly we're standing in that field. The years dissolve the moment that you spoke, standing here beside the station gate. You laughed softly as you turned your coat and wiped away the rain that came too late. You reached inside the pocket for your key and pulled a ticket stub from long ago. We walked down 7th Avenue so quietly, while amber street lamps brightened up the snow. A sudden warmth erased the bitter chill, and 40 winters stood completely still. Your laugh still carries that familiar ring. Those silver streaks now frame your gentle eyes. We talk about the simple joy of spring, and how fast 30 years can memorize. You take my arm just like you used yesterday feels suddenly so new. We stepped inside the corner bakery shop to share a slice of warm pie in the booth. We watched the steady autumn rainfall drop and toasted to the wildness of our youth. Your thumb slips through the vintage woven cuff. We turn the corner as the shadows grow to find each other once was quite enough. And now we walk together through the snow. A milk truck backfired by the corner store. A sharp metallic rattle on the floor. I pushed the curtains back to see the street and saw you stamping cold off from your feet. You wore that faded jacket made of brown, the one you bought before you left this town. You looked up at my window pane and smiled, and suddenly the years felt short and mild. The distance that had grown between us both was swallowed by a simple silent oath. You brought 2 coffees in a paper cup. We pulled the wobbly wooden chairs right up. We traced the roads we took so long ago, through summer rain and heavy winter snow. The hours slipped away without a sound, safe in the simple comfort that we found. You told me how you bought that red guitar and played in dusty, quiet local bars. I showed the photograph upon the frame from days when neither of us knew our name. We laughed about the things we used to fear and found out nothing really changed right here. The clock kept ticking softly on the wall, as if the lost time didn't hurt at all. We found the thread we thought was left behind, still shining bright inside a quiet mind. You brought 2 coffees in a paper cup. We pulled the wobbly wooden chairs right up. We traced the roads we took so long ago, through summer rain and heavy winter snow. The hours slipped away without a sound, safe we found. Life tore the map we drew when we were young, and muted half the songs we should have sung. But standing in the hallway near the door, you are the loyal friend you were before. The street noise hums down on the avenue. I miss the simple days of knowing you. Leave your coat hung up beside the stair. We still have plenty of old times to share. Honey, amber neon spills across the vinyl floor. You asked if anyone was sitting on this chair. I tipped my glass and told you no one anymore. You brushed a bit of rain out of your hair. We traded talk about the storm outside the bay, just two lost passengers with time to throw away. Then you laughed at something silly that I said, and a sudden quiet settled in my head. You wore that silver band from Santa Fe tonight, while snowy tracks dissolved behind our slow train car. We used to count each state beneath the harbor light. Now small talk fills the space where old memories are. You turned your wrist to set your coffee on the board. The lamp flashed on a scar above your thumb. I held my breath and let the years rush back restored, remembering the coast where we were from. You smiled and asked if I had traveled west before, unaware you once stood knocking at my door. And the jukebox played a tune from '83, while you looked right through the man I used to be. You wore that silver band from Santa Fe tonight, while snowy tracks dissolved behind our slow train car. We used to count each state beneath the harbor light. Now small talk fills the space where old memories are. I almost called your name out loud before the conductor called the line. Two ghosts who vanished in a crowd, divided by the drift of time. You said goodbye and stepped into the aisle, leaving me behind your polite and distant smile. You wore that silver band from Santa Fe tonight, while snowy tracks dissolved behind our slow train car. We used to count each state beneath the harbor light. Now small talk fills the space where old memories are. Honey, amber neon on the empty seat. Rain against the window in the quiet street. Safe travels back to Santa Fe. Heavy wooden chair sinks into soft carpet flooring as I sit beneath the brass lamp on the shelf. I hold a fresh blue sheet of paper this evening to write a little letter to my former self. You were so afraid of taking wrong directions, trying hard to fix everybody's imperfections. The clock ticks slow upon the dusty wall. I catch your shadow standing in the hall. You don't know yet how far we're gonna go, or how much grace a broken heart can show. The young man running fast without an autumn coat finally reaches harbors where schooners float. We trace those silver threads along our common sea and purchase sweet warm cider for a broken dream. You never need to dread coming years. I remember how you stayed up past midnight, pacing round the kitchen in your faded jeans. You thought that 25 was far too late for starting, chasing after foolish, unreachable scenes. I brought the worn-out photographs you left behind to prove that all those heavy worries were refined. The clock ticks slow upon the dusty wall. I catch your shadow standing in the hall. You don't know yet how far we're gonna go, or how much grace a broken heart can show. The young man running fast without an autumn coat finally reaches harbors where schooners float. We trace those silver threads along our common sea and purchase sweet warm cider for a broken dream. You never need to dread coming years. We are not strangers, split by 30 winters cold. I see your honest fire under stories told. The bus you missed turned out to be a saving grace, and every tear you dropped left beauty in its place. The young man running fast without an autumn coat trace those silver threads along our common seam and purchase sweet warm cider for a broken dream. You never need to dread coming years. Fold the blue paper neatly now, place it right inside the desk drawer. We are right where we belong today. The heavy chair holds us both. Burnt coffee and pine fill the late autumn air. When Daniel turned around on his vinyl seat chair, a trench coat was dripping by the magazine rack, and 30 long winters came tumbling back. She shook out her hair like she did in '74 and dropped 2 bright quarters right there on the floor. He stood up so slow that his tea turned to ice. She spoke out his name and she didn't think twice. They shared half a donut beneath the tin clock, rewinding the tape 3 whole miles down the block. The highway had swallowed the vows of their youth, yet laughter stayed sweet with a sharp grain of truth. 2 forgotten lovers who found the same street where quiet old promises finally meet. Her husband had passed back in '81 fall. His daughter ran shop near the local town hall. They talked about Plymouth and old radio shows, and how fast the river in November flows. He wiped off a spot on the window pane glass to watch all the strangers and yellow cabs pass. He offered a ride in his dusty old Ford. She smiled at the key hanging off of the cord. They shared half a donut beneath the tin clock, rewinding the tape 3 whole miles down the block. The highway had swallowed the vows of their youth, yet laughter stayed sweet with a sharp grain of truth. 2 forgotten lovers who found the same street where quiet old promises finally meet. The waitress brought refills without any charge, while outside the traffic ran heavy and large. For 45 minutes the years disappeared, replacing the silence that both of them feared. She pulled on her gloves as the neon light blinked. 2 lives in the dusk, unexpectedly linked. He held open the door as she stepped in the rain and promised he'd call her tomorrow again. Quiet hung heavy over cold parquet floors until your last letter crossed my mind. A silver Buick pulled into the driveway outside, cutting the dark through the plastic blind. You stepped out wearing that same corduroy coat, holding a suitcase held together with tape. The screen door squeaked on its rusty spring. 10 long years dissolved in a single breath. We stood in the hallway like suspended dust, ignoring every broken promise and death. We sat in the kitchen where the yellow light fell and spoke of the summer on the Maryland shore. You laughed at the teacup with the chip on the rim, while time lost its grip on the hardwood floor. Rain hit the glass in a steady, slow beat as you poured red wine into 2 plain cups. The record on the turntable spun in its groove, playing that melody that lifts us both up. You pulled out a photograph, edges worn thin, showing 2 kids by a blue lake dock. The screen door squeaked on its rusty spring. 10 long years dissolved in a single breath. We stood in the hallway like suspended dust, ignoring every broken promise and death. We sat in the kitchen where the yellow light fell and spoke of the summer on the Maryland shore. You laughed at the teacup with the chip on the rim, while time lost its grip on the hardwood floor. The clock on the wall kept ticking along, but neither of us looked up at the hands. The distance behind us was water under bridges now buried deep in the shoreline sands. We sat in the kitchen where the yellow light fell and spoke of the summer on the Maryland shore. You laughed at the teacup with the chip on the rim, while time lost its grip on the hardwood floor. Headlights swept across the ceiling tiles. Your coat stayed draped over the wooden chair. We stayed up talking till the night ran out, like you had never left me standing there. scratches on my fingertips as I pull the heavy coat down off the rack. The scratchy weave brings back a sudden chill, and 30 years come rushing swiftly back. I feel the frayed edge of a cotton seam where you once mended tears with silver thread. Suddenly the air turns crisp and clear. A doorway swings wide open through the haze. I hear the record needle drop again to play the soft pop melodies of older days. We stood beneath the yellow street lamp glow, exchanging promises we couldn't keep, before the autumn wind began to blow and woke us from a dream so deep. Now turning round, I see you at the door, standing right where you belonged before. You take a step into the warm parlor light, wears a dark navy sweater, soft and old. The distance fades away in a single breath and leaves no room for November cold. You smile just like you never left at all, brushing the dry leaves off your sleeve. Memory is a funny kind of thread. It pulls you right back where you used to start, unraveling the words we left unsaid, to stitch together what was torn apart. Hang your coat beside mine on the hook. We ended up exactly like a storybook. The knit stays warm against the evening breeze. We finally find our quiet peace. A rusted matchbook lies beside my tea. It shows the place where we used to hide. You slide your cup just an inch toward me and wipe the steam from the glass outside. 10 winter years fell between our hands, yet here you sit in the corner booth. I thought I forgot how your voice would sound when time washed away all our younger truth. We traded our dreams for a steady paycheck in another town where old names stay, while coffee gets poured like the golden seasons we threw away. You laugh so softly at a joke I used to tell. The lines around your dark eyes have grown. I count the scratches on the brass desk bell and wonder how much we have truly known. The waitress brings us a warmer pot. We pretend we never missed a beat. I thought I forgot how your voice would sound when time washed away all our younger truth. We traded our dreams for a steady paycheck in another town. Now cold vinyl seats keep the heavy shadows from falling down. Your thumb traces timber along the table where old names stay, while coffee gets poured like the golden seasons we threw away. There is no anger inside this space, just quiet wonder at how we grew. A sudden light on your weary face, and suddenly I am 18 with you. We traded our dreams for a steady paycheck in another town. Now cold vinyl seats keep the heavy shadows from falling down. Your thumb traces timber along the table where old names stay, while coffee gets poured like the golden seasons we threw away. The matchbook sits where it always was. You smile at me across the wooden ledge. We leave a tip as the highway hums. Two old friends standing on the edge. Faded yellow 7 on the platform clock holds still, while rainy city traffic crawls along the harbor hill. I close my eyes and picture how the future years will bend to bring us back together at the journey's quiet end. We will both be older when the twilight settles down, stepping off a late commuter train in some small town. Somebody turns around to recognize my faded coat, reading every single line of love I never wrote. They laugh at foolish mistakes that kept us far apart, finding all the missing pieces saved inside a heart, handing over paper cups filled with steaming tea, healing quiet aches from long ago across the sea. I see the way your eyes will shine to hear my spoken name, as if the passing seasons never changed our gentle game. You'll ask about my sister and the cabin on the shore, and I will smile and answer that I missed you even more. We will both be older when the twilight settles down, stepping off a late commuter train in some small town. Somebody turns around to recognize my faded coat, reading every single line of love I never wrote, then laugh at foolish mistakes that kept us far apart, finding all the missing pieces saved inside a heart, handing over paper cups filled with steaming tea, healing quiet aches from long ago across the sea. Time is just a river rolling onward to the main, carrying the promise that we will not meet in vain. So let the calendar move fast and turn another page. I am ready for the moment, waiting on the future stage. Somebody turns around to recognize my faded coat, reading every single line of love I never wrote, then laugh at foolish mistakes that kept us far apart, finding all the missing pieces saved inside a heart, handing over paper cups filled with steaming tea, healing quiet aches from long ago across the sea. The minute hand moves forward, I'm waiting by the track. Save me a seat near the back door until you come back. This heavy oak chair presses deep into the rug tonight, as I sit down to write a line to 18-year-old me. The yellow desk lamp casts a warm and steady light on a photograph of someone I used to be. You were waiting by the station in a faded denim vest, scared that every big decision was a grave mistake. You thought the world would end at 22, because nobody taught you what a broken heart can do. But I am sitting here across the span of 20 years to buy you one last drink and wipe away those foolish tears. Put down that heavy suitcase standing by the kitchen door. The train you missed was never bound for where you wanted to go. You'll find the answers waiting on a higher floor, and learn to love the quiet rhythms that we used to slow. The storm you feared just washed the dusty windows clean and brought us back together like a forgotten dream. leather seat creaks underneath my shifting weight, while I tell you that the dark days didn't last too long. We made it through the cold nights and the late night debate, and every single sorrow turned into a decent song. You met the girl you thought was gone forever in the rain. She's downstairs making tea while I write down your name. You thought the world would end at 22, because nobody taught you what a broken heart can do. But I am sitting here across the span of 20 years to buy you one last drink and wipe away those foolish tears. Put down the heavy suitcase standing by the kitchen door. The train you missed was never bound for where you wanted to go. You'll find the answers waiting on a higher floor, and learn to love the quiet rhythms that we used to slow. The storm you feared just washed the dusty windows clean and brought us back together like a forgotten dream. If I could hand this paper through the faded glass, I'd tell you not to hurry when the seasons pass. The boy who stayed awake until the midnight hour grew up to be the man who found his simple power. So rest your tired shoulders on the wooden back. We made it down the long and winding track. I'll leave this letter lying on the velvet seat, where two old versions of a dreamer finally meet. Sweet pipe, tobacco, and crushed lavender drifted across the damp autumn street. Clara pulled her scarf tight against her chin, watching the evening rain drop at her feet. A shadow stepped out from the pharmacy door, holding a bag from the hardware store. 20 years dissolved in a single breath. No clever words were left to say. He adjusted his hat in the drizzle light and smiled in that ancient, easy way. The old silver clock on the corner chimed. Two strangers pulled back into borrowed time. He offered his arm as the sky turned gray and swept all the long, lonely years away. They walked toward the booth where they used to sit before He spoke of the farm up in Idaho. She talked about teaching in Santa Cruz. They laughed at the photographs in his coat and brushed off the rainwater on their shoes. The waitress brought tea without even asking. In simple reunion, they both were basking. 20 years dissolved in a single breath. No clever words were left to say. He adjusted his hat in the drizzle light and smiled in that ancient, easy way. The old silver clock on the corner chimed. Two strangers pulled back into borrowed time. He offered his arm as the sky turned gray and swept all the long, lonely years away. They walked toward the booth where they used to sit before any spark in their world was lit. The past is a letter that came too late, yet here were two hearts at the garden gate. No anger remained in the quiet room, just lingering scent of the evening bloom. She took his hand near the doorway frame. He called her by her forgotten name. The rain kept falling on Maple Street. Two old friends where the shadows meet. A dusty peach glare hangs over the train depot counter, while the man sitting beside me turns a worn newspaper page. I clear my dry throat and ask if the late bus is running, just to bridge the quiet gap of our lingering age. He turns around slowly with a tired little nod, says the winter always comes too early this year. Then he sets down his coffee with a distinct wooden click, and a phantom spark suddenly catches my mind. I look at his left thumb with that crescent-shaped mark, and the decades roll back to a place left behind. We shared a green bicycle 30 autumns past, racing down Elm Street before the street lamps burned. The years made us strangers who grew up too fast, now sitting side by side as the big wheel turned. I finally speak your name across the cold space, and 40 years of distance vanish from blinks in total wonder as the realization strikes him, and the polite, stiff posture melts completely away. He asks if it is really me in a hushed, trembling gravel, as a soft brass ballad starts on the jukebox to play. We talk about our mothers and the old harbor bridge, piecing back the wreckage that time tried to steal. He reaches in his jacket for a leather-bound keeper, pulling out a faded snapshot taken by the lake. He says he kept it tucked near his heart through every city, waiting for a random chance encounter to make. We shared a green bicycle, 30 autumns past, racing down Elm Street before the street lamps burned. The years made us strangers who grew up too fast, now sitting side by side as the big wheel turned. I finally speak your name across the cold space, and 40 years of distance vanish from your face. The midnight conductor calls out boarding for track 4, but neither one of us moves to pick up our heavy bags. We laugh at how we used to think that 20 was so old, while the cold rain outside on the gravel depot drags. Two travelers bound for very different destinations, finding childhood resting at a quiet county station. We shared a green bicycle, 30 autumns past, racing down Elm Street before the street lamps burned. The years made us strangers who grew up too fast, now sitting side by side as the big wheel turned. I finally speak your name across the cold space, and 40 years of distance vanish from your face. The overhead bell rings as the engine moves out. We trade our telephone numbers on a torn paper napkin. Not a stranger anymore, just the boy from down the block. I step into the dark and feel 21 again. You mentioned yesterday that cedar chests hold everything. I noticed how your silver ring still turns around your thumb. A wooden ballpoint pen is tucked inside your sweater sleeve, and traffic on the avenue has settled to a hum. You take 3 careful sips before you set the teacup down. The yellow wallpaper has peeled a bit along the floor. The rain is tapping on the glass like soft, polite applause. We sit across this braided rug a quiet room. You laugh exactly like you did when autumn came too fast, and every little thing you touch brings back a shadow from the past. You still fold up your napkin in a neat triangle twice. The leather on your left boot shows a faint white jagged tear. I saw you squint against the lamp to check the kitchen clock, then smooth a single strand of gray that drifted in your hair. The rain is tapping on the glass like soft, polite applause. We sit across this braided rug without a single cause. A dented copper thimble sits beside a broken comb, while 15 years of distance melt into a quiet room. You laugh exactly like you did when autumn came too fast, and every little thing you touch brings back a shadow from the past. A postage stamp from '84 stuck to a leather book, a heavy brass latch clicking as the winter evening falls. I never thought I'd sit right here and watch the way you look, tracing all the simple lines drawn on these old familiar walls. A dented copper thimble sits beside a broken comb, while 15 years of distance melt into a quiet room. You laugh exactly like you did when autumn came too fast, and every little thing you touch brings back a shadow from the past. That triangle napkin on the cloth, a tiny freckle near your wrist. We stay right here until the kettle stops. Nothing lost and nothing missed. Stiff gabardine feels cool against my palm as I unbox this coat from '82. The attic air is motionless and calm, and every thread brings back a glimpse of you. I trace the seam where frayed threads start to yield, and suddenly we're standing in that field. The years dissolve the moment that you spoke, standing here beside the station gate. You laughed softly as you turned your coat and wiped away the rain that came too late. You reached inside the pocket for your key and pulled a ticket stub from long ago. We walked down 7th Avenue so quietly, while amber street lamps brightened up the snow. A sudden warmth erased the bitter chill, and 40 winters stood completely still. Your laugh still carries that familiar ring. Those silver streaks now frame your gentle eyes. We talk about the simple joy of spring, and how fast 30 years can memorize. You take my arm just like you used to do, and yesterday feels suddenly so new. We stepped inside the corner bakery shop to share a slice of warm pie in the booth. We watched the steady autumn rainfall drop and toasted to the wildness of our youth. Your thumb slips through the vintage woven cuff. We turn the corner as the shadows grow.